I'm so
The presents are red.
I am a raccoon. I am horrible at opening anything.
This bottle's
why I
all
have a
gone. I've had the last
No,
sip.
right?
Ever
Right?
since
I'm like
Christmas
2-year-old.
I'm all tangled
I know what
up,
you meant.
thinking
I'm the worst at it.
And also definitely things when I open something it's like caught in a horrible way, mangled and
Right.
why?
I'm one of those people that cuts the plastic bag chips down the middle, and
Oh
everyone
yeah,
takes
everybody gets mad.
it. I can piss off people easy. Jordan needs to move. You can get eaten. Yeah. Get rid of them. That's what I'm doing with it, because I feel like I need the space to
Fresh
pour
out.
myself artistically.
Check it out.
No, I have to use it because it's been echoing. That's why I haven't been able to hang out during Japanese because I can't hear Jackie.
There's already paint on me.
Yes, there it is. The cherry has been broken.
That's already. I bought some glitter too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Just
I have stickers from my old job, so to give myself an A class. Gold star.
It just fell off and it scared me. I'm on it.
I like your lips, Lexi. That's really good color.
Huh? I can't hear anybody because I'm Calvin in my head.
Oh.
Oh my God,
I'll
so
put it
loud.
later. That'll work.
I put it on the Facebook.
I'm ready.
Did you get all of it off?
Hey! Hi. Welcome. We're finally going to do this. We're going to, the first time I'm ever going to paint anything. I can't believe this.
This is my first
Very
painting
exciting.
class as well, and thank you so much for putting this together. I'm so excited. Welcome. We're gonna. Who's painting in chat?
Who's Peyton?
Yeah.
Let's see Peyton's in
Let's
chat.
see paint. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Hi.
I totally forgot about the really awesome art. Ah! It did it again. Okay, everybody has to drink anytime my
There it
Christmas
is.
tree comes
Oh,
off.
we got the third. All right.
There's the number 3.
But yes, there was a really awesome background. Damn it! Fuck this.
I love it when she gets frustrated. Lex, you never get frustrated. I love it.
I love Hunky Boy says not painting but drinking along. So you know what? If you're not painting,
Yay.
you should drink along with
Drink
us for
along.
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
So Alison Bamcat had actually sent this really cool holiday version for Gloss, but we will use it a background, but we will be using it next stream next
Ooh, I'm
weekend.
excited.
Because we need to have, we need to be big on the stream this evening so we can, have up close and personal looks at the arts and the hoots. Oh.
Yes, the hoot.
And
I just told
yeah.
Jackie we would be double the hoots in chat today.
yeah.
So
We're double hoots, so grab
mean-
your hoots because we got a hoot chat today.
I mean, technically, I'm like Jackie. I'm
Yeah,
like
baby.
boho Barbie Jackie. So it's like,
Gorgeous. I that is the best compliment I think I've ever received. Thank you.
I love that.
Oh my
I love
God.
that. Thank you so much, Allison, for the sub, and we will rock your background next time. Mwah. And thank you so much
So
for doing that
talented.
for us, because we have so many fucking talented artists in chat. There's so many people that are crafty, that are artists, and we are joined today by the wonderful Bronislava. What would you like us to call you, my dear? Would you like us to call you Bronislava?
well,
Or Miss B.
That Miss B is fine. I feel like Branislava's the name my parents gave me because they're mean and Serbian. And so
Sexy as fuck. What you talking about?
as an
Man, baby, thank you,
adult,
Becca.
I appreciate it very much.
I
As
bet.
a child, bronchial tubes, bronchosaurus, all that stuff was a little rough. But like, if you think about it, my parents came here from Serbia, and then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have some kids." They gave my brother like a pretty. He's Mickey is his nickname. My
Okay.
sister's like Donna, that's her nickname. And then I got
You have time to
Bronca,
make a drink,
which no one has
Carl.
ever heard of, like ever. So it's always just been like, I'll just go by B. I think B is good.
B's
B
good.
is great. All right, I love it. But also, B is just as sexy. I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
And-
Mysterious.
I don't know why I did that, but yeah.
I like it. There's a no judgment zone, B. We're all in this.
Good.
Together.
I'm so glad.
We are
I'm
in
so
this
glad.
together. Carolina, I've never done like a painting class like this ever, even though I taught crafts, because I'm very bad at following rules and paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I mean, I spearheaded a lot of mini camps for small children, doing a lot of arts and crafts.
Oh yeah.
Still
Mhm.
learned nothing. If anything, I'll just insult all the amazing artists out there with my beautiful new painting. Well, I mean, it's only just begun, but you'll see. You guys-
Oh man.
It'll be
We'll get you guys straight. We'll get you straight. Well, what is everybody
my
drinking,
painter.
if I might ask?
What was that?
What's everyone drinking?
Ooh, good
Beer.
question.
Fleet beer. Beer
A
for
little,
people like
little
me.
red wine.
Okay, I got a little Oregon Pinot Noir. A
Ooh,
rascal.
The
rascal.
fact that she did one painting and a drinking activity and now has a gorgeous pig painting, which I would love. That's what I want to
love
do. I
that.
definitely want to hang this first on the refrigerator and then
Oh.
and then put it on the car while we drive around.
You have
and then
to.
eventually
Yeah.
be over
Yeah.
our mantle. So
Yeah, you have to.
I think it's great.
Also, thank you so
It'll
much
be the
for
epitome of winter.
subs. Yes, it is the epitome of winter. I love it so much. Also, it's the Aurora Borealis, and my goddaughter's name is Aurora, and I was just like, that's so perfect. But yes, thank you so much for the subs, and it was Becca got back, I believe, that just subbed. So anyway, thank you very much for that. I would like to say that this is Holden's first official stream, even though it's not his stream. It's our stream of for him being partner, which is really, really exciting. So if we can totally have so many emotes now, and that's so awesome.
That's
so
awesome.
we need
Very
those
cool.
Carolina emotes, gloss emotes, maybe a hoot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. But anything, any emotes that you guys want to I don't know, donate to us or just, share your lovely emote. I almost said emo making, but emote making art. So thank you very much, guys. Those of you who actually made these lovely emotes for us. So
Yes,
I'm
thank you
rambling.
guys so
gotta
much.
cut me off sooner, Jackie.
No, how dare you? But also,
Ramble.
can you tell us a little bit? I would love to know a little bit about your background in painting. So, do you do this outside of quarantine life as well, or is this something that is your passion? Like how does it land in your life, and why does it make you smile?
Ooh.
Gotcha. All right. So I've been doing art like angsty kid all the way. And just started doing it, and I went to school for it, and then I was like, well, how am I going to get a job? No, I didn't want to teach necessarily like in schools and things like that.
Yeah.
And I my sister had a tragic thing happen to her. She started going to these wine and paint classes as like a way to deal with it. And I'd like to add, even though she's on here and she sees this, she's gonna be mad at me, but she's not the most artistic when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But that's
I love you,
good
Mom.
though. That makes you
Yeah,
feel
no,
Yeah.
exactly. And she really used it as like a way to like work through. And then she was like, I'd really like for you to come to one of these classes with me. And I was kind of like, oh, whatever. I don't know if I want to like have someone tell me how to paint something and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. And it was actually around Christmas time. We painted some kind of North Pole this way, Santa's house that way kind of sign.
Yeah.
And it was, and I really, really loved it. And then afterwards, the instructor came up to me and said, hey, this is pretty good. Do you want a job? And I was like, I would love a job. So I came on, and that was when we lived in North Carolina. And then after my husband got out of the military, we came here, and long story short, I now own my own business called We Make Art. And
That's awesome.
and yeah, thanks. And we specialize in doing pet portrait classes. So we get a picture of your pet, and then I draw it out, and then we go to a winery, because we're in Oregon. We go to a winery or a bar or a brewery, and I teach you how to paint your own pet. And it's really fun and very cool. And now, because of the quarantine thing, I've been doing like paint by number versions of it.
Yeah.
Where I just like draw it out and then make it into a paint by number and send it to people. But yeah, so I do this as literally as a living, and I honestly, it is the most amazing thing. I truly, truly do what I love, and it makes me feel like sunshine. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I painted Georgie, beautiful little Georgie. I'll bring it out after the little break. I'm gonna bring it out. I want to show it to everyone because it is so good. It is amazing. Oh, look at
This is my baby. That's my baby.
I'm just waiting, Jackie. I'm waiting for you to get a pet so I can do one
Don't
for
worry.
you.
Oh, I might. I'll hit you up for Wendy though, for sure.
I actually sent one to Henry. I
Do you-
did. There's one of Wendy, and there's also Puffin. I did a Puffin.
Oh, they
too,
probably
so.
have it in their gallery. They have a gallery of Wendy's
Oh, I bet.
pictures, like by one of her
I
little
bet.
beds, and all of it. And I was like, and not to be like, because I'm like, what are you gonna do someday? Not that we. And I'm like, the whole gallery, but it's fine. She's beautiful, and we love her. She's young. And everything will be fine. I don't really play video games because she's amazing. Posted your Instagram and the Facebook in chat, so totally check out
The best.
Is there another website? Like, is there anything else you would like us to look at? Oh, also, yeah, all right. I don't really play video games. Put it all in there.
Yeah, it's just my Instagram and my Facebook. That's basically how I do everything. Or my Eventbrite page, but that's for like events that you can come to, in person. So if you're in the area, if you're in the anywhere between Portland and Eugene, Oregon area, that's basically where we do. And we do private parties too. So you can book like a private party through us.
That's sick.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's
Thank
really
you
cool.
so much for sharing this with us and doing this with us.
It's an honor.
Honestly,
It
it's
is
such a
an
great
absolute
idea
honor.
to do. That's why I jumped at this when you guys came up with this. Like, this is a brilliant idea. Actually, I've never done anything like this before.
Oh.
There's just only so many things we can do right now, and this is perfect.
But
So
also, I would love to do more of these in the future with you, with anyone in chat. Like, I think that this is such a fun way to learn it because, again, I've never done something like this before, and I probably wouldn't if not like in this group. It's like go try something that you might fail at. It's okay. And in this year, I feel like we're so little on new experiences that like this, I was so excited. I'm so excited to try something new.
Yes, Allison.
And thank you guys so much for joining us in chat. And if you don't have paint supplies, don't worry because we're not using any licensed music so that we can keep it up and you can come back and you can do it at a different time if you need to go out and get the stuff. So don't worry about that. But also we are going to have a drinking game.
Oh yeah. No, everything will incorporate drinking into it in some way or another. We'll figure out a way.
Well, so I said if there's a Bob Ross reference, because everybody, first of all, we're going to be doing trees, so we all know what we're going to say. And then, right. And then my second thing is that, and I teach classes for kids as well as adults. And my through line when it comes to my classes is no negativity. There's no such thing as bad art. It's not a thing. Art is like the biggest spectrum in the world. So I don't like it when people say bad things about their art. So if you say something bad about your art, even at home, I'm looking at you, you have to drink. right? And then
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
Very scary.
And then I think the third one, Lexi, was just the restroom break. If you have to,
Or if somebody else in
Or-
chat has a better
Yeah.
idea, then feel free to, the first idea that we see will the first good idea. No, I'm just kidding. But if you guys want to suggest something, then we will just these are just to help you get drunk and make painting even more difficult.
Yeah.
So,
and the more you drink, the better your painting gets. I promise.
so
It just
true.
gets better and better.
just like my singing last Monday on Mezcal night, where I was like, I can sing shallow. Yeah. What?
It was so good.
Oh, it was so not
I love
good.
it. And thank you so much, Hail Persephone, for saying that. I can't believe this is free. I'm broke as fuck, and being able to hang out at no cost is saving my sanity. We gotta have fun things to do. We have to have each other, and we have to smile. And thank you guys for joining us, because it's an easy, not self-destructive, completely way to smile. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Is that unheard of in my brain? Sometimes.
Anybody?
If anyone's wondering, I got tons of sheets and newspaper all over here. So, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up rolling in it, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be.
I'm scared because I don't have that, and I'm worried that it's going to be everywhere.
I'm going to make a mess, and this isn't even my desk or my computer. And Becca gave a really good one. The first person with paint on their clothes takes a shot. Or we could say every time you get paint on your head,
paint on your clothes.
Yeah, no, that don't count. I don't think it counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at least acrylic comes out. Acrylic comes out.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Right? Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
One thing I do know,
Which
it's
is-
the paints that come out of clothes, because
Well, that's a really good segue into talking about the materials that we're going to be using, because it's really, really important that we know about them while we're working with them, because if you get caught in a snag, it helps out a lot more. So what kind of paint I have, and I'm assuming most of you guys got like craft paint. And this stuff it's latex, but it's also water soluble acrylic. And it's different because it works more like nail polish than paint. So by that, I mean 2 coats sometimes is important, especially if the color is really dark. But like nail polish, if you try to put a coat on while the first coat's still wet, it's just going to pick everything up, right? So you want to make sure that you're letting things dry. That's why I said the hair dryer, but it's not necessary because it will dry pretty quickly. Usually it takes about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how thick it's put on there. And it also works really nicely because you can water it down. So if you want something to look a little bit more opaque, you can add more water to it. If you're using it on the canvas and you're having a hard time with it being smooth, that means it's probably too dry. So it's not soaking into the fibers of the canvas properly. Okay. So watering it down a little bit will help out a lot, especially as we go along.
Okay, cool, perfect. Maybe beer will help. You never know.
That too. Also, I only have a couple of rules. Rule number 1: don't drink your paint water and don't paint your drink water. That's like a big. You won't die. It's just
you told me
nasty.
now.
Yes, my brain space.
Right, right. And then, like I said, rule number 2 is just always stay positive. Anything can be fixed, especially acrylic paint, because once it's on there, you can always paint over it, right? So that's always a good thing to know. So we're gonna use these canvases. The thing about the canvases, so you know what canvas is, or have a canvas bag. It's different on this side than it is on this side, because what they've done is they've sprayed it down with something called gesso. And what gesso does is it goes in between all the fibers, making the canvas smoother. And it also, dog just walked by and totally rocked my whole table. I was like, no. And then also what happens is while you're painting on it, the gesso in the canvas kind of acts like glue to your paint. So you can remove the paint, but there will always be a little bit of a stain on there. So it will never be white again unless you just paint right over it. But in the meantime, what helps is when the gesso gets wet, the glue sticks a little bit better.
Baby, thank you for subbing soaked.
So as you're working, especially since we're going to be doing kind of a blendy situation in the background, just know that the better the consistency of your paint is, the better it locks to the gesso and the canvas. Okay. So I always say my paint consistency is, do you guys know what kefir is?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like drinkable yogurt.
Yeah.
Now I do. Okay.
So
I think
kefir
I
is like
I lived in a Polish neighborhood, but yes.
There it is. Yes.
Yeah.
My Serbian parents drink it like it is regular milk.
Oh,
don't worry. A lot of cabbage, a lot of drinkable yogurt. It's how we stay
like
so
great for your gut.
strong.
They must be clear.
Clean.
Probably my mom, my dad. I wouldn't go there, but you know. He also loves a Chinese buffet. That's his like go-to. So let's put all those together and then swoosh them around and see what happens. But yeah, so your consistency matters. And then the last thing I want to talk about a little bit is the brushes. So we kind of have like a bigger brush and a medium style brush and then a smaller brush. But when we use the brush, and I'll talk about which way to use it too, but when you're trying to get paint out of your brush and wash it out, the paint sits where the brush and the metal meet. So this part right here, that's where the water and the paint is going to sit in the brush. So when you are trying to get like a darker color out specifically, washing it like this and then pressing it down onto your napkin like this, putting pressure on that little area right there is going to get the most of the pigment out of your brush.
Okay.
Rather than like just working at that tip area.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I want to make sure that's
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Now what's your question?
I just opened my canvas and I just discovered that it is wood. I got the wrong canvas.
The whole canvas is made of wood?
I think so. Or particle board. But it's smooth.
Okay, that's okay.
But I do have another canvas, but it's not the right size. Which is best? Which would you say is more important? Size or material?
I would say it depends. How big is the other one?
12 by 12.
Is it small? Oh, yeah. Use that.
Use that? Okay. Got it.
Yeah, use that.
It's always the material. I get it.
It's just because the wood, it soaks water and it evaporates so quickly that it will be very difficult to blend anything. And we will be doing just a little bit of blending in there. So
got it.
All right. And my last question is, how hard is it going to get the paint off anything off my keyboard, my monitor? Because I have a feeling it's going to end up in every crevice of my body as well.
No, it's actually very easy. You can either do two things. If the surface that it's on is really flat, like not clothing or something like that, you can just let it dry and scrape it off.
Perfect.
And then if it's in your clothing, the best you can do is get a little bit of water, try to get out as much as you can, keep it wet, and then just throw it in a washer right afterwards. But I've gotten paint on my clothes and been able to get it off like a day after I've,
really?
Or just add to it if you just make it.
Sure. Or you can, just like go full punk and just splatter paint on everything you have. And that's how I live my life because I literally have paint on all of my clothes.
Hurricane Nola, don't worry. Hurricane Nola says I'm very nervous. I'm also very nervous.
I'm actually nervous too. I wasn't nervous until now. And now I'm going to screw this up.
No. We've got this. I promise.
Okay.
I promise.
I got this. I'm going to write that all over the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should probably put like a t-shirt on though, right?
Yeah. I changed my shirt the last minute too because I have like 10 pinhead shirts. So I figured out what's one less. just in case. I was a little
Most
worried. I don't know.
likely, unless you're getting real wild with your brush and like flipping it everywhere, you should be okay.
Okay.
Because of the consistency you want the paint on the brush, it's most likely you're not going to have so much that it's going to glob off,
Flapping.
or it shouldn't be so runny that it falls off like that anyway.
Okay.
So that would kind of help a little bit as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do this.
Also, I got this from
Do this.
Shein for like $6. So really, at the end of the
There
day,
it
it
is.
doesn't really matter. But you know,
There it is.
You can go back to Rainbow next weekend.
I'll get another shitty shirt. Yes.
Well, I thought about wearing my apron, but I was like, I don't know, because like I want to look classy, but like this is what happens. Here we go.
Sorry, I'm having canvas issues. I was like, no, this is my sound panel. I can't paint on that.
This is what happens when you're an instructor.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
And
I like the way
And
that
this
looks.
is from not using napkins, but just brushing the brushes clean on myself.
That
So I just have to make sure that I don't do that while I'm not in my apron, right?
yes, we'll watch out for it. Like, no, B, don't do it.
All right. Are you guys fucking ready?
Oh, I'm fucking ready.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my
okay.
God,
Immediately
y'all.
almost drank the paint water
Oh my,
instead.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I love it. All right, so I'm gonna grab my big brush. Okay.
Big brush.
And I just want to put a little bit of water on there. I'm just kind of tapping it in, so it's not, if I move it around, it's not, there's water not coming off of it, but it's still in there. And I want to grab some of my black paint.
Black paint.
Yeah, I got that. Oh, wait, that's green. Oh,
Black paint.
And I want to come at the very top. And so your canvas it wraps around, right? Go ahead and paint that as well, because it makes it easier to put up on the wall and it looks a little bit nicer. Look at this. I already put paint right on my boob.
On your breast paint.
Dang.
Drink.
Okay.
that's a good start.
Yeah. All right.
Holden, I need more wine.
That is important to get us.
Very.
Oh man,
Very.
I'm so glad we're starting us with something semi-easy because I'm like, I can do this.
Yes, I can do this.
There you go. So I'm bringing it down to about here.
Oh, okay.
And you just let me know if
There
I'm
are
too
no
bright, I can-
mistakes.
Only
Only
happy
happy
accidents.
Oh, well,
Boom,
drink.
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 That was quick. That was quick.
It happened all night.
So how
Mark
far
might have to run to the store and get more. All right, we're good.
No, really, Holden, I need more wine.
So I'm bringing that down about maybe 2 inches.
Okay.
And that's 2 inches of a person who knows nothing about measuring anything ever.
Perfect. That's about the amount I know. Two half a
Perfect.
thumbs. I know that.
Yeah, have the
Half a
thumb.
thumbs. I'm doing it a little bit more because this is a 12 by 18.
All right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah. It's fine. Whatever.
On one side B, or the other side as well?
Yeah, so for right now, we're just doing that one side. And then I'm going to go ahead and start brushing down
Okay.
about that same length. And I'm using the flat part of my brush and just brushing down like this.
All the way
It's
across.
easy to see brush strokes in acrylic paint like this. So it's better to try to go from the very edge of the top and down so that you're not lifting. See if I lift my brush, you can kind of see where I've lifted that. You can go all the way down and you'll have more straight lined brush strokes rather than seeing bits of lightness where the brush has been lifted.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to make every mistake at least twice, and then I'll know how to really do things.
All right. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's veiled negativity, Carolina. And I think that
Ooh.
Drink.
It's possible. All right, here we go.
So did you say, I'm sorry, did you say that we're filling it in so it's opaque up here?
We want it to kind of be, we want it to be sort of filled all the way across. And because the way that black dries, it tends to look a little bit like a dark gray while it's drying. It will look more uniform after.
Got it.
But for now, just kind of brush that on there so it's nice and thick. And you can always add a second layer if you need to.
Oh, like the heavy side layer? Did you
Ew!
watch
Just like it.
Cats?
Did you, wait, what did you ask me, Jackie?
I just asked if you've seen Cats. That this is the heavy side layer.
Listen, I have seen Cats so many times. In fact, I videotaped my son watching Cats and sent it to Lexi because he was watching it and I looked over at him and he went like this, Mom. And he goes, Mom, I've had a cat before. That's not a cat. And I was like, I know, buddy. I was like, I know. And he's like, why are they wearing shoes? What's with the shoes? I just felt so bad. And my daughter, you know, she lives in like a magical world. So she's like, this is weird, but I like it. Like, you know, and my son is just the most sarcastic, cynical 8-year-old on the planet. And he's just looking at me like, I don't appreciate this. And I don't know why we're watching it. I just
told him the world didn't appreciate it, and yet also appreciate
He's
it.
not alone.
yeah, exactly.
He called them abominable jelly cats.
Yeah, he goes, what's up with those abominable jelly cats? And I was like, well, bud.
I don't know what to tell you.
He's like, oh my God, are they singing this jelly song again?
All right, so I've got my thing, right, about like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't
Perfect.
do the other side, right?
So we're just going to do it in a different way. So
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go on this bottom part and we're going to go ahead and just do about 1.5 inches there.
Okay.
Okay.
And 1.5 inches there.
Okay.
And then this one, and you can always put a little bit more water if you need it. This one, we're going to go all the way across.
Ooh.
So it's a different brush stroke.
Okay.
Ah, all right.
Ooh, and I
This
just
is like
remembered-
very soothing. This is very calming. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Here,
so
let's
sideways.
get a good focus up close on Miss B, and now the girls are on the side. There we go.
Well, like boys on the side?
Yeah.
But girls on this side.
That's one of like the greatest soundtracks.
Oh
by
my
the
God!
way.
Yes, I was obsessed with it when I was in 6th grade.
Loved it.
Happy. Ugh.
Thank you, Ryan Osmosis.
Yeah, my sister brought up earlier, she's like, remember when you used to make fun of me when I turned 1/4 of a century? And I was like, yeah. When I was turned 25, I was like, you're 1/4 of a century. Almost dead. And she's like, now both of us are so far past 1/4 of a century.
I know, right?
All right.
I know. I think we are the same age, Jackie.
You're in your Jesus year?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank
baby.
you. I'm gonna carry that one with me.
Yeah,
straight
do
to
it.
church.
Yeah. We are, we're strong.
My
Technically,
mom told me
that's
that
the best year,
the
right?
entire time I was 33, she was afraid I was just gonna die. I was
Oh.
like, Mom,
That's what 27 is for, though.
yeah, it's
Oh, man.
every
Yeah, right?
exactly. I had a friend that insisted she was gonna die when she was 27, and I was just like, you're not a famous rock star. Don't give yourself so much
Yeah,
credit.
that's how I knew I wasn't cool. Was because I didn't die when I was 27. Because I I'm obsessed with Janis Joplin, and I desperately wanted to be her. And I was like, I will drink myself to death. And then I didn't. So I was like, okay, now I have to be an adult.
Then we had to pick up the pieces.
Have you ever seen Festival Express?
I own it. Actually, this one's for you, Jackie, because
it was just if you guys aren't familiar.
Me
Oh,
by my uncle. It's an autographed picture of Janis Joplin.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is really, really
It sits
cool.
on my art table because she inspires me. So,
dude, that is fucking sick.
It's literally the coolest thing about me. So I'm pretty much finished for the rest of the stream.
That's all you need. Are you kidding me? You have a fucking
I mean,
Janis Joplin's autograph. That's all you need.
You're good.
That's my opener.
Yeah. But look at this. Like, oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna wash my brush out.
Okay.
All right.
But this bottom part does not have to be like even, does it?
No, we're going to start to blend that out while we let this top part dry a little bit. We're going to grab that dark blue, and these paints blend best. So yeah, the darkest blue that you have, and if you can see my white paint just like spilled out like crazy, but the darkest blue that you have, and it works best when they're both wet to blend them together. So I'm going to go a little bit faster on this just because I want to do it while it's still wet. If it happens to have dried by the time you get there, that's okay. Just place the two colors together and then take a wet brush, like a wet clean brush, and blend them together like that.
And
so
I apologize.
It's the
same brush though, right? The same thick one?
Yeah, the bigger brush. And I'm going to start to blend these two together. And as you can see, I'm getting kind of like a dark blue. It's turning a little grayish.
Ah, okay.
And then I'm grabbing more blue so it turns a little bit more blue. But try to keep it as straight as possible. And the thing that I've learned is in order to keep it straight and go from one side all the way to the other, you don't want to use your wrist. Your wrist, it has a very small rotation to it, whereas your elbow and your arm has like a longer reach. And so you want to use more of your elbow and arm when you're going across, like so that you get more of a blend and we don't have those pickup marks.
All right. I think I'm blending. I've never been able to blend as well until tonight. I feel like I'm finally getting this is a breakthrough.
Carolina, your enthusiasm is flooring me. I am just loving it. I feel like I've given you a new confidence.
Someone needs to like this painting, and I'm gonna put myself at the top of that.
I love it. I love it. If it's getting too dark or you don't want it to be super, you don't want to wash your brush out again, but you still want a little of that black in there, just wipe your brush out like this. So there's not so much black paint in there, and then go back into the blue and blend it back through.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I like that Ryan Osmosis says, this is so much fun. This needs to be a regular thing. I'm like, yes, I agree. I like it.
Yes, I'm immediately like, look at what we're painters. Now I've been why people do the wine and paint class. I'm just like, yeah.
Oh man. And my favorite part about doing it here in Oregon, as opposed to North Carolina, where I was in North Carolina was a lot of military people. So it was like the military wives whose husbands were deployed, and they were just like ham sandwiched immediately, like just got so drunk and just like had the best times, cackling, laughing, enjoying themselves. They didn't care how it turned out. It was just about the process, you know. And then doing it here in Oregon, it's like the people who can, it's better when I have the wine glass. The people who are at the winery, and at first they're just very, you know, enjoying their Pinots and that kind of thing. And by the end of it, they're like, I had the best time. Like, it's always so funny. You just see their guard go down so hard, so fast, you know,
Great.
and they become unabashedly who they are. And it's great. It's wonderful.
I love it.
Yay, Hunty boy, we have the best time here too. This community is the
Coco
best.
Bean is a great question. Are we bringing the blue up above where the black initially ended? We're up above it.
Yes. Yes. So I originally had my black right here, and then I brought my blue up to about here. And eventually with all this stuff, we're going to kind of meet in the middle. But you know, don't worry too much if you're getting too close, or if you get hit in the middle by the time we're at our third color, because we'll just add our last one right on top of it.
All right.
Yeah.
I have to let my dog out. Hold on one second.
Ooh. You guys hear topical humor with Jackie Zabrowski. That was the Baja Men bee. I don't know if you heard, but
That's what that was? I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't catch it right away. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
funny.
you.
Oh man,
Okay,
that song was so
so-
much fun.
So
for
we
2
wipe
minutes.
it off, right?
What do we do next? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. We're just gonna wipe it off. Don't worry about washing it. We're just wiping it for now.
I got it.
Sorry, I should have prefaced this with I'm the person that asks a million questions.
Thank you.
Sometimes you get so used to like painting, and I paint in solitude now. So I forget about things that other people like would never think about, right? You know, and so if people ask about it, that gives me the opportunity. Otherwise, I'll just be like, la di da di da, you know.
Okay, hell yeah. So I never want you to think it's not a reflection of you. It is a reflection of me completely. Of just like I need to know before I make any.
Please, yeah, please ask. Please ask.
I can't
love it.
coloring books. I immediately I'm like I don't know what color to put. But that's okay.
I like the ones on the iPad. I'm just now like learning all like the art in like a technology setting, because I'm just a hands-on 2D grandma, don't know how to use my phone person. And I just enjoy now there's a coloring book that you can do where you just have to tap the section.
Mhm.
It's
I could
really
get into
fun.
that. I could get
Yeah,
into that.
it's really
I could
fun.
get into
It's
that.
enjoyable. Okay, so now I'm going to grab that same blue that we were working with, that dark blue. And instead of using the flat part of my brush, I'm now going to turn it up and down like so. Okay, so we're going to go vertically. And I'm just going to start to bring this up and down. And you want to vary how the color goes. So it can be a little taller here and a bit shorter here. We don't want it to be straight across. And it's okay if it's a lighter underneath. We're just getting this initial part here. And you can go up and down like this, but if you're not finding that you're getting this sort of taper on the edge, try just flicking upward.
Yes.
Might be a little
Thank you
hard
for
to
saying
see.
that. That helped a lot.
All the way across, B.
Yeah, all the way across.
Cool. I love that Brat Gal said happy trees, y'all. I think that's where we're close to that. We're getting to, I mean,
But
Yeah.
you have to drink
it'll
up
all
some
make
reference.
sense.
Yeah, we gotta drink
Cheers.
up. Ooh, this is sexy.
I have to say, I wanted to go with the wine spritz today, and I bought this seltzer, and I don't know how I feel about it.
What kind of seltzer is it?
Okay, so it was red wine, so I was like, oh, this might be really good. It is black cherry coffee.
Oh, I do. The
Uh-huh.
ahas. I like those.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
how is it
I don't know
for
how
you?
I feel about it.
With wine, that'd be really interesting. I feel like you'd have to have wine, like the wine be black cherry coffee noted, you know?
Right, right. Which, maybe.
Maybe? Yeah. Yeah.
It says blackberries. I don't know. The tasting notes to me are like the worst part about going to a winery. I'm like, yeah. Just put it in the glass.
That's a problem too, is that like whenever I go to a winery over here and I'm like, oh, I'm into white wine, they're like, white wine. Well, okay. I got a Polish stomach. I can't drink red wine.
I understand. I have, because I do this at like a bunch of different wineries and places, I have a lot of friends who own them or like, help their parents or whatever. And particularly one of my friends, Brian, he owns this place called Scenic Valley Vineyard. And when I go there, he always like on purpose will give me like the world's longest tasting notes.
Ooh.
And he'll be like, now do you smell it? And I'm like, Brian, I'm gonna kill you. Give me more wine.
Wine? Is that the question? Yeah, there's wine in
it. Yes. Is this that wine kind of wine?
I've heard of it before.
How do you feel about fruit wine?
Yes. Your Moira is getting so good.
Thank you. Yeah, I practice it a lot by accident.
Yeah. I bet I would if I could do it. I can't.
I really like.
I'm more of a David.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan of red wine, but the only problem is that like if I have like more than one glass and I make some sort of joke at like over dinner with Marcus and I'm just like and he'll just look at me. He's like, it's like purple everywhere, right? And I'm like, just listen to the funny words that are coming out of my mouth. God.
Yes, I understand. So I'm just adding more of this darker blue to the area that has white underneath it. We just want to kind of darken it up a little bit, and it's okay if you still can see it. You also might just let it dry a little bit and add some more. So we'll work in the bottom for a bit, and then we can always.
But don't go up over where the black is.
Yeah, so just slightly. So the black and the blue kind of come together in this area here.
Okay.
And then I've created a little space for more blue at the bottom of that. And if you look at the finished product, you'll see that will then have a lighter blue come on top of it. So it's okay if it's not perfect. We're just kind of creating a space for the lighter blue to hop on top. Hop on pop.
Hop on pop! Can you imagine? My father, I can't even imagine what he would have done if I ever jumped on him while he was sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
Too real? Too truthful?
No, actually I was gonna say, so my dad is a semi-truck driver, cross-country semi-truck driver.
Mm.
And so when he did live with us, because my parents are divorced, and have been for a very long time, thank God. Him being home, it was like quiet time, which is so telling of how opposite it is, because my husband works nights and he sleeps all day because he's a train conductor, and which is like I've been working on that railroad, you know what I mean? But
I apologize. But I didn't mean to speak out of turn. I imagine that he is I respect your husband.
He is a chef's kiss of a man, and he's absolutely beautiful. He's gorgeous. But yeah, so he sleeps all day. And I remember being a kid and thinking about my dad sleeping all day and like how scary it would be to wake him up. Whereas my kids are like in the living room, like blah, 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 blah. And then my husband, like, is in his room and he's done all the things that he needs to do to make sure that he doesn't wake up, we even painted our ceiling black so it would suck all the light out of the room, so he could like sleep better. But he does the best he can. But
well, it's why we
such
were
a huge
indoor
difference.
kids, though. That's same. My dad was always sleeping during the day, so that's why we were indoor kids, because we had to be quiet at all times. So Henry and I played with each other because we're like, I guess we'll just like we'll make comic books and we'll make a television show because we had to be quiet.
For sure. I get that. So we're gonna move into our lighter blue, and we're gonna work down in the bottom. So this is my lighter blue, my medium blue. I'm not gonna do it. I like when I get streaks of the dark blue and the light blue together. I think it helps blend it better. If you feel like you have too much dark blue before you go into the lighter one, go ahead and just wipe it clean, but don't wash it.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Already washing it by accident.
Me too.
Immediately.
That's okay.
Immediately.
And that works too.
Oh yeah.
And that's fine.
I'm fine.
So we're gonna go and start to blend this across. And it might be pretty dry down there. So if it is,
yeah, Jeff's been gone for a while.
Oh, I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
He works on a railroad, same.
Good.
So I'm gonna do this, but then if for some reason it's not blending really well in the in-betweens, I'm gonna go ahead and add just a touch of water and sort of blend that bottom piece out a little bit.
Okay.
And you can always bring dark blue back in there if you need to as well. We're just gonna kind of blend this.
All right. I have to tell
So
you.
I wanted to.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted
No, you go ahead.
relay a story. The only time I ever had art class was in high school, and unfortunately, the teacher, she was like, let's say an older lady, so much older that she was like would forget where she was and what she was doing.
Oh no.
Wow.
And so like no one ever did anything because she was always confused all the time. And I'm ashamed to say that we took advantage of that. So I never did anything. And then at the end of the class, she was like, all right, now everyone has to bring all their artwork in so we can grade it and you can give you your final paper.
Oh,
and I was like,
no.
I didn't do a thing. So somehow she took pity on me and gave me a C-. But I literally did nothing but skip class at the Mexican diner down the street. So
Yes, I
this
love
is for
it.
you, Mrs. Rivera.
Yeah.
Aww.
I mean,
I feel like everyone has that one art teacher that was like the best thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I had a great art teacher.
My elementary school art teacher was named Mrs. Meadows, and she was so great. She was like, she was an artist, and she just happened to teach elementary school, and she introduced us to some really, oh God, what's that artist that does the really gory stuff? There's like one painting he did that's like Satan eating his son, and then the Medusa.
Goya.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
Goya.
introduced fourth graders to this art.
That's how they learn.
But like she was like, and then I think she talked for like the entire class one day about how much she loved Pollock, and it was just like, I mean, and then we all had to do our Pollock. She was a great teacher. Loved
That's
her.
amazing, but I might get canceled, but his wife did it better, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Pollock was kind of an inflated artist.
Oh, really? I mean,
yeah.
I don't have big feelings either way. She was just very like into whatever she was talking about.
Yeah. I love teachers who are like super passionate but inappropriate at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing better.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna let my blue up here dry a little bit more. But a question I wanted to ask was, who is your favorite artist and why? That was like, I'd been thinking about that. And it's okay if you say, like, there's no such thing as like basic bitch when it comes to liking an artist. I am just as much of a Van Gogh person as I am like any other obscure person
Very
that's out
funny
there.
because I immediately was like, I can't say Salvador Dali.
You absolutely can.
He made some weird movies.
See, that's the thing. So in St. Pete, by where we grew up, there's a huge, like, it's like where he had like his last house. So it's like this insane museum, Salvador Dali. And so we went all the time. But also, it was the only weird part about Pinellas County, Florida, was the fact that there was all this Salvador Dali shit, you know?
Right. Totally.
I like that Farrell HW said Jim Davis. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Although he's an asshole, though. That's a problem. Jim Davis is not a good.
We broke into his. Well, we kind of trespassed the Garfield Inc. place in Indiana, like a couple years back. So, we got one back on him, I guess. I don't know.
By the way, Carolina, as someone so I actually grew up outside of Chicago in Indiana. I lived like a stone's throw away from where Michael Jackson grew up.
Right.
Like on the lake, but I was in this like tiny little town called Porter, Indiana. And the fact that you guys went on a trip and went to Indiana blows my fucking mind.
I know.
Man,
Nobody
baby,
goes to
thank you,
Indiana.
Doc.
Yeah, I was like, why?
Why Indiana?
You're not lying. You're not lying. I was at the dermatologist getting like some weird rash looked at, which has nothing to do with the story. But anyway, the point is that the doctor is like, "Have you been anywhere recently?" I was like, "Yeah." He was my boyfriend at the time. He's like, we traveled cross country, halfway all the way to Muncie, Indiana, and he's like, "Why would you do that?" And I was like, they're not very friendly to us. But the reason why is because we wanted to see James Dean's grave. We wanted to see Garfield's headquarters, and then a bunch of people, a bunch of Jim Jones from Jonestown's graves as well. And
I was gonna say, do you also really like corn? Because that is a thing in Indiana. Not. I wish, Jackie. I wish. Although the town that I grew up in, the town next to the town I grew up in, is where Orville Redenbacher is from, and so we had a popcorn festival every year, and that was really cool. So I've always been like a popcorn person. I haven't I haven't made a comedy career out of it like you have, Jackie, because you're brilliant. But but man, what's that again?
That you're close to Eugene in Oregon.
So I'm like between Portland and Eugene. I'm in Salem, so I'm in the capital. We're like an hour away from all the good stuff.
I'm just obsessed with it up there. My ex is the only good thing about my ex was that his family was all from up like by Eugene, but like they were like mountain people, and so and I loved it. I mean, they loved me, but that I definitely would watch them like shoot the cow. We'd eat the cow the next day. Like it's like they were that kind of family. And I loved it.
It's big farm. It's big farmland up here, and this is like the most. This is the most like, because I grew up around Chicago, and even though like Indiana is farmy type place, it wasn't quite like it is here. People are very self-sufficient out here when it comes to like how they live, and more people than not, base their life off of like gardening and whatnot. So, it's very different, but I love it very much, and I don't think I want to be anywhere else.
Hell yeah.
For me, I've been to a lot. We lived a lot of places, and this one works out for me very well.
Ooh, coconut lemongrass. That's a great question, Miss B. Have you been to Forks?
I have. Okay, so
we're in the forest right now.
Do we go into the twilight? Okay, so I let me give an instruction, and then let me chat at your face.
Sure.
I want to know what everybody's favorite artist is too. There was some really interesting.
Oh yeah, we haven't.
I'm sorry.
And it's perfect gloss form. So we're going to grab our blue, same one that we blended here, and we're just going to do that up and down on our dark blue over here. Now, one thing that is important is don't use the same pattern of up down that you used with your dark blue, change it up a little bit. So if it's lower on the black, put it a little higher with this lighter blue. And if it's higher, like here, go a little bit lower. It looks a little bit more varying, and the more random it is, the more natural it looks. Okay, so I have a friend who literally just got back from Forks. She took her daughter to Forks, and I got
just so you guys know, and for anyone that doesn't know, Forks is where Twilight is based, which is why Coconut Lemongrass asked about Forks. But please continue.
Yes. It's actually pretty far from here. Like, Washington itself isn't far. Like, I could get to Vancouver in about an hour or so, depending on traffic. But Forks is much farther. But she went, and I got the lowdown on Forks. And Forks is completely, unabashedly a Twilight place where everything has a sign next to it about this is where Bella's house was, and this is where Jacob said the most absurd line in the movies. You're right, I won't say it. And you know, just stuff like that where it's very like everything has something to do with Twilight. And I think that's really cool. I don't know if I could ever get anyone to travel with me to go. Because I know my husband won't do it.
Okay, come up there.
We're gonna have to make another road trip. I'm down. All right.
And baby, Organic Mary Jane's, thank you so much for the sub.
I can't think of a thing that would make my life more complete than to go to Forks with you guys.
I think I'm gonna have to at the end of this. Like, I think I'm obligated to go after reading all the books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
it's like
I agree.
in your contract that you wrote for yourself.
yeah, exactly.
I have to.
But I think what would be really cool is if we did that, we then like traveled over somewhere where we like did the hot springs.
Ooh,
or did like some really cool like wilderness hiking type sitch or something like that.
We're not going to be alone because a lot of people on chat are saying, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's do it, bro. Hey, Trisha, let's do it. We'll all meet up in near one rock, and then we'll go from there.
I love in the meadow. We'll meet up in the meadow.
Just run to each other.
Okay, Kay Trisha said it's a pilgrimage, which could never describe it better. I love it so much. That's great.
There was somebody that in chat mentioned the very positive body artist that I actually checked out these really cool paintings from the amazing list that I don't really play video games put together of all of the people in our chat that have Etsy shops or are friends with somebody who has an Etsy shop, and we're just trying to promote these small businesses. And there is this wonderful positive body artist or body positive artist. Wow, what is wrong with my brain?
You're beautiful. That's
But she's a body artist, you know what I mean. But so God, if somebody wants to say whoever it was real
quick,
fast, that would be
great. I have a
Mm-hmm.
question for you. So with this
Moose Kleenex, thank you. Sorry. Yes. Thank you, Lisa Rose. Thank you.
With this, I can still see some of the white in the last color that we did. Did I do that wrong, or is there a way, like, what should we?
So what we're going to do is we're going to finish it up, and then we're going to go back and touch it up. So we'll touch it up, and then while it's drying, I'll teach you guys how to make trees. So don't worry about that. Just kind of, no, you're perfect. And every
then we do the same thing
way.
With the flat across.
Yeah, I kind of just to thicken it up, I've kind of flat brushed this lighter blue, just to kind of, if you can see, set this down here. If you can see this sort of line right here where my darker color is underneath, I'm just trying, once it's a little dry or dry enough, to take a little bit more of that blue and sort of blend that out so I don't see it as much as.
Oh, that makes, okay, that's perfect, because for me, it's gonna, I mean, like, there's a lot of whiteness I can see up close, but I guess it's like, it's the, you know, it's part of the painting that you don't paint that counts. I don't know. I'm gonna try to spin
That's
it.
right.
I like
Damn,
that.
Carolina. Damn,
Jazz,
I'm stealing
the
that
notes you don't
shit.
play. Yeah.
I'm stealing it. I love it.
I love.
I'm sad that we haven't had to drink more, but I'm happy that nobody's being negative.
All right.
I'll
I
do
see
that.
too much. I see too much white in it.
It's bad.
Very bad. I hate it, and
My goodness.
I don't know how I can make it better. I like it because it's nature flames. I know technically
Nature
flames are
flames.
nature, but this is like a different. It's like sky.
Yeah.
Sky flames.
I love that. Nature flames. Hell yeah.
Definitely an
That's dope.
interpretation of what I think a night in the forest is like.
Oh yeah, forks.
Yeah.
Baby.
It's like, this is what,
Forks, baby.
this is what I see.
You wait. Katie May also says you're doing such a good job hosting this, Bee, and you really are. And thank
Yeah.
you
Oh,
for
thank you.
making me feel completely safe to ask as many questions as I need to, and
Oh,
not
yeah.
make me feel like we're doing a bad job. We're doing a good job.
No, you guys are doing so great. No, don't worry. I literally took it all out on my husband before this started and yelled at him when he said that my hair wasn't perfect. So, and I was like, don't you know I'm nervous? Like,
Also, you
Aw.
look fucking fantastic, and I didn't even
oh,
notice.
thank you so much. I am definitely a product of not doing much during quarantine, and then like getting an opportunity to slap a little lipstick on it and taking that full advantage of that. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Sunday for me. It's like, right, I
Yeah.
have makeup, I forgot.
yeah, totally. Well, and Lexi has seen me when she does the classes with my kids. I mean, she's seen me at some of my peak moments because it's always like 9:00 a.m. over here. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
later on in the day when her eyes aren't crusted shut like mine are. And I'm wearing like sweatpants that don't fit me and things like that.
Don't
and
you
so,
worry. Don't you worry.
Oh, I think that was me being negative. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
gotta
Sorry.
No, I'm gorgeous.
Yay.
Don't
You
tell
are.
anybody I said that.
I know you fucking lay that track on that train to go to the hospital.
Honestly, this is going so much better than I thought it would. I have like 7 other canvases. I got like a big pack of that in case I have to be like,
Home daters,
you know what?
ho!
I have like,
Firewood.
this huge pack just in case.
Yay! You're gonna paint
So now
so
you're gonna
much.
do this.
We'll have to do more.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Ryan
Well,
Osmosis.
Marcus is gonna do it too. He's gonna start painting too. He's like, this looks like fun. I'm gonna do it with you sometime too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Brian Osmosis,
Well, I'm
thank you
always
so
happy.
much. Sorry
Thank
for the
you.
dono. Thank you for the 25. If you want to throw in a talking point while we paint, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much for the dono.
Thank
If-
you. And
if
yes,
any-
I'm gonna paint a lot more because I want Marcus to be my nude model. It'll be really fun.
Yeah.
A+.
It won't even be sexy. I'm like, stop moving your arm.
Yeah.
It'll be an argument. It'll be great.
That's my favorite too. I knew so many nude models in college because I went to an art school, and everyone's like, I can't believe you do that. It's like, it's not sexy. In fact, no one, like, it's difficult to stare at its flaccid penis for a long time because you're standing in front, and like, even at times you'll get hard, but then it goes away because you're just being stared at, you know?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it ruins the mystery for sure.
Oh, man.
Even like just because I do a lot of portraiting, even just doing anatomy in general, like when I look at people, they're all just meat sacks to me now. And they, bones and all that facial structures and stuff. I can see all the way to their brains, and it's real weird.
Funny story about a fellow, a middle-aged, heavy-set Santa Claus of a fellow. He was.
Wait, are we guessing who this is or no?
Oh no. It was in my
Henry, Kissel, Ed.
it could be
I'm gonna say Ed. I'm gonna
right?
say Ed. I'm gonna go use the ladies while you tell the story. So everyone drink.
Oh, drink.
Okay. And I was taking a figure drawing class in college, and because I tried to take as many art classes as I could, even though I was a theater major, and so like every day would just be like another naked person. But this fellow brought his own props, and like one time he had like a pitchfork, like a double pitchfork for one. He had a skull for another. He had a bag of props. And one pose, not going to lie, was a touch your toes pose.
Oh no!
Yowzers.
He was so sweaty too, and just like the sweat, and I was just like, "How are you sweating? You're naked, and it's cold in here." Oh
Because he's
man!
nervous. I stand like that. That's horrible. I don't even want to do that in front of my partner.
No!
I don't want to even do that in front of myself.
No.
I don't want to see it.
No.
I don't want to see it.
Wait.
If I know that much about myself, I would be.
Oh,
I would lose every confidence.
Oh, there was cheek spread.
I gathered.
Ooh.
Gathered.
I gather.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
man, he's
The whole
flexible.
time I'll be like, should I wax? You know, you don't want. You don't want.
No.
I'm-
That's rough. I have a friend who 'cause I have a lot of our artist friends obviously around these parts. I have a friend who teaches a figure drawing class up in Portland, and she asked me to model, and I was like, I don't hate the idea of doing it because I would feel it would make me more confident about my body.
Right.
But then like my problem would be when I got down from there and saw everybody's interpretation
oh yeah.
of my body that I think might I would feel confident, like I'd stand up there and like be like, hell yeah, I'm big and beautiful and whatever. But when I get down and somebody was like, there's too many dimples on my ass cheeks kind of thing, and then I get really upset, so I just felt like I was like, maybe another time. We'll see. I'm gonna have to work myself up to it.
A full picture of yourself sitting down. Whenever you do that and you see like this section, I'm just like, oh no, it's like I hate that.
Yeah.
That's why I take selfies. I'm just like Mariah.
I love it. I love that. Okay, so we're gonna take that very lightest, and mine's kind of like a really light teal color, the light blue.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do it both ways, like my sex life. No, I'm gonna go ahead and go long ways here, right? And then fill it in. And when I get to my blue, I'm gonna go into my uppy downs. My up downs.
Uppy downs. Love
Uppy
it.
downs.
Oh, okay. This I can get. Yes, I get this.
Yeah. We're gonna do a little bit of this.
I just didn't shake my paint, and I was like, this looks like cum, but it's not cum. It's fine.
Oh shoot. She's right though. When the paint separates, it's rough.
It really looks like cum.
Carl, they said, y'all, I really want to eat some flaming hot white cheddar popcorn right now, but I have paint on my hands. Oh my God. I'm so sorry for you.
No, that's the worst.
As long as you don't eat too much of it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
I've gotten a lot of paint in my mouth. Don't worry.
She turned out quite all right. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I only twitch sometimes. Get it? Twitch.
Technically, you're
That's what we're
twitching
on.
right now.
This is why I'm not a comedian. Please
Actually,
don't
you
don't
should
indulge that.
talk about your cooking with Dolly.
Oh yeah, I should. So I speaking of Dolly, are you sure? Okay. My husband's shy. So I came up with this concept. Please don't steal it. Trademark. It's just like the Miz or Les Mis, the Miz. Please don't steal this. But Salvador Dali has a cookbook, and it is fucking bonkers. It doesn't make any sense. The recipes don't match the instructions. The ingredients are like impossible to find. And it is just very interesting and very fun. And I thought it would be really cool to try to go through it and make the recipes, because I love to cook, and I cook a lot, and I like to make all different types of stuff.
Ooh.
So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through it and attempt to make the recipes. And of course, I'm gonna have to change a lot of stuff because, like, I don't suspect my family is gonna eat like crayfish mountains, and like yeah, there's like all kinds of like really, really weird recipes in this book. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, because I talked to, I don't really play video games about this privately, but like I'm not great at technology. I don't know how to edit videos really well. And I don't really know how to show myself cooking them. But the whole point I was going to try to do it was that I was going to have my friends come on and make up like a cocktail to add to the dish. And all my friends would be like artists, so they could promote themselves and bring their work to show. And then if there ever becomes like an income type situation from that, I want 75% of the proceeds to go to like Feeding America, or just something, because I want to do something more than myself. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Like, I just feel like that is so much more fulfilling for me than like, so anyway, so that was my whole
idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to execute it. So chat, if anybody out there wants to help me, please hit me up.
Say you're also talking to the right people that create all of our own. I'm just saying.
Sure. Yeah, that's so true. And like, because I told my husband I wouldn't fangirl too hard, but like I've been listening to you guys for years. I mean, movie signs. I like everything, literally everything. And you guys are pretty much like my only podcasts now. Everybody else is just small potatoes. So like
taking over the world.
yeah, at least my world. And so like, as people who I've actually got to watch your journey in becoming, these like powerhouse people. It's just it's very cool.
That. It's definitely over.
Yeah.
That is an overstatement, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, the facade is about to fall any minute now. I promise you.
$20 says I look in chat right now and everybody completely agrees with me. So
take a drink.
People say
Take a
LPN
drink. Yeah, that's
only,
right.
no new friends. This community does rock. And Michelle Buff, I will support this woman. Give her my info, website, or give me her info, website, Venmo, etc. If we can get, I don't really play video games, if we can get B's info and website and all that fun stuff in there.
We'll talk outside of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone
Okay.
loves
Oh
your
my God.
idea. Everyone loves your idea. It's such a good idea.
Oh,
That's why
shit.
you got to talk about it. You have a built-in audience
I
here.
built all of this. And so then it's me like, oh, you want to make that? Cool, let's start making it. And I'm down.
Thank you. I don't
That's
really play
so
video
great.
games.
My goodness. Thank
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
love food. We love art. Put them together.
I know. And that's like me too. I'm just like, do I want to create something that was written by a complete madman? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Did he call spinach shapeless like Liberty? 100%. It is fucking nuts, and I'm here for it, and I want to try. So yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Thank you guys.
I love it. Yeah, let's talk.
Of course.
Absolutely.
That's the best. I think it's one of the best parts about working in this field now is nowadays it's just like, yeah, let's make shit. Like, I was talking about this with Henry yesterday. We were talking so openly, but it's like, this is the time. We finally have the time where it's like, okay, I've got about 100,000 ideas from this past 8 months. Put it to work. Let's start building shit. Let's start what do you want to make? Yeah. Let's make it. And so now it's like, we are starting to get to that point where it's like, we never had the time to sit and think about these ideas, to think of how we would actually make these ideas. And I'm trying to see some of this year as a positive of like, no, let's think about what we can make. And then all this shit is over, bam! Like, so we've got shit to do.
Yeah.
We got shit to make.
I agree.
For sure. I think it's like, it's so interesting how when you do have the time to sit and think about all these things, I have literally written more down in the past 3 months than I've written down in 10 years of ideas and things that I have in my head. And the only like shitty part about it is when you have a time when people are losing their jobs, they can't pay their mortgages, all these things, entertainment is like the first to kind of go, because it's such a luxury. And like, that's why when I thought about, when we talked about doing this, I was like, first of all, 100% free. I can't, like, absolutely. Then I was even telling Lexa, like, if anybody couldn't afford their materials or something like that, I'm privileged enough that I would have been able to help somebody just the same way I'm able to like donate and do things like that to you guys, like, you know, week after week. I have that opportunity, I have that privilege, because my husband works on a fucking railroad. Can I get choo-choos in chat? Can I just do that one time?
Yeah.
In chat?
I'm fucking,
this makes my whole life.
Your husband, you're all sexualizing him.
No, he already knows. He knows that if I'm talking to other women, I'm already doing that.
Yeah, that's a good relationship. Build each other up, don't bring each other down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look at all those choo-choos.
Holy crap.
I love it.
But also Silent Sweet,
so
oh yeah, put me on a list to send people Michael's gift cards if they can't afford the materials. I think that this is I think that like if we start doing this kind of stuff more, I'd like to start doing that. I'd like to start figuring out that we can, so that anyone can participate, that anyone can do this kind of stuff, because you're right,
100%.
These are the luxuries that we have to lose when no, this is creating, this is feeling, this is connecting, this is something that we still need that we can't have anymore. The fact that we can't go to shows, we can't go to concerts, we can't interact with each other anymore. This is what we have. We have to use what we have. And this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to put on our own art show. We got to put on our own music show. I'm good at a tambourine and a couple of riffs on the guitar. You know, I'm just going to put on a live show for Georgie. We got to do what we can.
Watch that all day.
Honestly, I got 2 riffs down. That's it. But you know what? I will do that for a whole hour because I'm headlining. So it'll be cool.
I love it.
Also, K-Trisha did ask, should I be letting this dry because I'm totally just going at it?
Yeah, I did another
bit. I can't stop touching it. I just can't. I'm obsessed with it.
I'm going to throw it out there.
It's okay.
I definitely accidentally, for my lightest one, I thought that this was the color, but it's glitter. So what I did is I mixed it with other color because it wasn't like showing up because it was just the glitter. So I mixed it with other colors, trying to make just at least a different color, but now it's all striated. But I think that it's mine.
I think that's cool.
Look, it's really beautiful. Like from where I'm at, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I'll just keep holding it back here.
But that's the way art's supposed to be. It's supposed to look good from at least a couple feet away, right?
Yeah. But
No, I think it looks good.
Figure it out.
Like, the more I touch it, the better it gets. The more I futz with it, the more fun I have with it.
I like it.
Absolutely. And this is actually a great time if you need to go back in and like darken up things or sort of just try to like get stuff a little bit more blended, especially if you're trying to blend a lighter color back into a darker color. wet it down just a little bit. You never want it to drip off of your brush, but having it a little bit more wet will help blend it. And you can always go back with the darker color and then re-blend it out. So that's totally okay. So yeah, it's a good time right now to kind of create a little bit more when it comes to color and shape. If maybe this light part is too light for you, you can go back in with a little bit more of this medium blue and sort of blend that medium blue back in. So this is just a good time to kind of create more colors, more shape, and get a couple more tones in there. So, Carolina, you didn't say who your favorite artist was.
Oh, well, so as you can tell from my painting, I'm not really going through my influences, I'm not much of a, I mean, I like looking at art, but I don't know much about it kind of thing. But I did get to study up a lot on this one artist from Switzerland because you know, Marcus and I, we do a No Dogs in Space, we do a music history podcast, and we did a whole series.
No, I'm just kidding.
We did a whole series on dead Kennedys, and a big part of our podcast was talking about H.R. Giger, who he was very famous for, for doing a lot of kind of like almost like a freehand spray paint kind of thing that he would do, like very dark mechanical, and also or like human and mechanics together, marrying together, kind of showing like the consumption of like capitalism and all the bad things that happen in society. And I'm just like, this is all like really disturbing, awful stuff. And I just couldn't stop staring at it. And I'm like, I love it. So I'm going to try to incorporate a little bit of that into this.
I like it.
I love that. Channel it.
A little penis landscape. I'm going to try to figure out a way to do that. But I do appreciate a lot of what H.R. Giger, like, you know, he was definitely like an artist kind of guy, because he's like, you know, the things I paint, I don't think they're as awful as what society really does. You know, all that kind of stuff is like, I'm actually showing you the nightmare that you really live in. And I thought that was, you know, it's kind of cool, because he did make a lot of really great art. And he passed away.
Oh no, he's great. He is kind of the equivalent of what I would say is, I just wanted to put that up close in case anybody needed to see.
Hell yeah.
That again up close. So my favorite artist is Caravaggio, and he's extremely problematic. Like, he is a fucker. But
I don't know Caravaggio, so I'm gonna look up Caravaggio because I don't know.
So the thing about him is he took what, you know, the Renaissance type, and what he did was he made it super dark and super light heavy. So he would go with like a completely black background and just bring the person out through the shadows, and he would do things that were really kind of grotesque for the time. So one of his most famous works is David with Goliath's head in his hands like this. And both of the images, both the young man as David and the Goliath head, are actually self-portraits that he did of himself. He was he was like your quintessential, like, torn to pieces, just an awful person, but like just an artist, you know. But his work is so outstanding. And I recently, and then my second favorite is Artemisia Gentileski, who was a lot of his influence was what she did her paintings as, and they did a lot of work that was very similar to each other. And I recently got to see her in Seattle at the very beginning of the year, before anything ever happened. And man, I mean, the painting, the skin is like butter. It is so beautiful and smooth, and it looks just like skin, and there's like green underneath it, and it's so beautiful to look at. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Yeah, so that's my favorite. What about you, Lex?
Well, before I answer, I do want to say we have only half an hour left, and I'm so sad that we only have half an hour left because this has gone by so quickly.
I'm gonna throw this out there, but if we don't finish, we're gonna keep going, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
probably, right? Can we? Can we?
Yes.
I mean,
Okay,
I do
I'm
want
not
to get another beer. Though.
Yes.
Oh no.
In fact, to hold
Oh,
the
no.
phone though, because I need to go get another sparkling water for my. Everyone has to drink those for
Okay,
my
everyone has to
for my
drink.
sodas.
I am such a, I don't know. I feel, and I should drink because I'm saying this. I feel so lame with my taste in art, but it's very specific to a time period. My favorite artists were all prolific around turn of the centuries, and that's my favorite time period anyway. But other than the future, when things actually get better, like as in future from here. But the
Darkly,
like,
yeah.
into the 1800s, into beginning in the 1900s. I love Mooka. I love Mooka. I know it's so popular, but I love Mooka.
No.
And I love
Great.
I love Klimt. So popular. And Maxfield Parrish, his use of light, his everything just glows. His paintings glow, and I love that. And they're all like slightly different sort of aesthetic, but those are my favorite artists. And I also love Michael Parks, but he's contemporary. He does contemporary fantasy, and just the way that he'll paint like a ballerina and a swan floating in space, and it's just, but I love it. I realize that like the through line that all of this art has is pretty ladies. It's just all pretty ladies.
Good stuff. It's always good stuff.
It's always like maybe a nip slip,
Yeah, that's how I feel about John Singer Sargent. I always liked his stuff because it was like, oh, that was so sexy. And it was literally like a woman who like had a collar up to here, but like it was white instead of brown. And they were like, oh, how dare. And I just like, I think it's so great. That stuff just kills me. It makes me laugh.
And I love Frida Kahlo too, of course.
Oh, Frida Kahlo, yes.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
who doesn't?
Frida.
My compadre, it's in
She's
so many
fantastic.
ways. I mean, I'm Colombian by ethnicity, but I grew up in Mexico, so I feel more, even though I look and feel Colombian, I more feel Mexican. And so growing up with all of Frida Kahlo's stuff and the fact that everyone's like, Diego Rivera, what? No, we're going to go more into Frida Kahlo territory. All that stuff is beautiful. Just just looking at her artwork when I was a kid in Mexico, it was just, if anything, it was amazing considering how insanely sexist Mexico was when I was growing up, and now they've made so many changes, and now like it's changing, like the world's changing, of course, but the fact that she's being celebrated all over the world and not just in Mexico. So when like your popular person from school makes it big, that's how we all were like, oh cool, there's a movie about her. That's everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A great movie about her.
So good.
Oh
Salma Hayek.
yeah, dude.
I mean, I know
Yowzer.
Madonna wanted to be her, but I'm so glad that Salma Hayek did it.
Oh my
And
God,
I think it really made the movie like some really good job.
You mean it actually made it a good movie? Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
I agree.
Madonna can't act.
I'll fight Madonna tonight.
Right?
Oh my God, we could
Right.
both snap her in half.
Part 2
Yeah.
of this.
It's the tequila.
Wow. I
Um,
am not.
yeah, I'm with
anti-Madonna.
you. I could actually sit and scream about Diego Rivera, and Frida Kahlo. I could literally talk about it for hours. However, I should probably teach you how to make some happy little trees.
It's
So
time. This is what I've been waiting for.
yes, so I have just another one because I think it'd be easier for me to show you how to make the tree on here than it would for me to try to show you on the canvas because it's going to be much smaller. So it'll be easier just so you can see. So of course, when we go to make lines, a really important thing is the amount of pressure that you're placing onto your brush, right? So when I have my medium one, and if you notice that it is not loaded there's not a lot on there. It's loaded just enough that it's like perfectly thin, right? And when I go to apply pressure on there, if I apply a light pressure, I get a very small line. And when I go and apply a little bit more pressure, I get a very thick line. So it's really important how much you are applying on there. And then also the consistency of the paint, you know, so we want to make sure that it's nice and thin.
James said, same brush or smaller brush? Is it just a little bit smaller?
This is our medium brush. This is our smaller than the middle brush, I would say.
The one that's smaller than the one we were just using.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're obviously gonna make, you know, our mountains and whatnot, but then on top of that, we want to place one of our trees, and you can change you can vary the size of them, but I'm just gonna do one of my big trees. So I like to just make a little line that comes down, and then I'm going to start with this brush, and I like to kind of start from the bottom. And I'm just patting my brush back and forth, right? It's always the biggest at the bottom, and it gets smaller as it comes up. But notice I'm going back and forth, and what I'm doing is I'm patting, and I'm not trying to be too patterned, and I'm just getting a little bit smaller as I come through up into the top, right? So I've gone pretty flat across, just sort of bringing the brush here and there. And then once I'm done, I can go in with a smaller brush, and I can take that smaller brush and I can sort of fill in spaces. I can add little bits of paint here and there. I like to kind of touch the ends, and I don't like it when you can see the line coming through, so I might make it just slightly thicker between. One thing that's really important is keeping space through the tree. So keeping a little bit of space through the tree so you can see the background coming through is going to make it a little bit more realistic. And then always keeping it a little bit longer at the bottom and kind of creating sort of a triangular shape, right? So then if I moved on to my next one, which is going to be just a touch smaller, I would kind of bring it close by, right? And then I would do the same. I would just back and forth, again, making sure I'm leaving space between, but also they can touch, and there's nothing wrong with that. Up until I hit the very top. And then I grab this and I kind of connect, maybe add a little bit here and touch on the ends just to sort of bring that through. Okay. And when you get that all done, it will look similar to this here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Your trees
so
look
when we
really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I practiced.
I think that like you've done this before, because the chat and I are all scared of doing the trees. So we're
I have more.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an option now.
Okay.
If that terrifies you and you would like to try to do something else, you can do a tree like this. Here's this. Here's my brush.
Ooh.
No.
Man.
Now I should know, or at least understand, the difference between what this tree is and the last one. I don't sue me if you also live in Oregon. Apes McNeil, I'm talking about you. She lives not that far from me. But I just kind of brushed it out like so, and that gives me a little bit more. I think they're fir trees. It's a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So it's slightly easier way of doing it, but it's just as beautiful. If you would like to do that, that's your option number 2. And it's a very light brush stroke that I'm using. I'm like barely touching when I do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Chuck,
Where-
that's a great question. Do we need a middle lake line?
Yeah, we're just getting to that point. So we're going to put a lake line in there, and we're going to fill in this sort of hill area.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and place our trees after that. I just kind of wanted to give that tutorial so that we had time to dry. And then now I'm going to put in our little, it kind of ends up looking like a bit of an hourglass. But what we're going to do is, now when you go to put a horizon line, which is the line where the ground meets the sky, it's always best to try to go as light as possible. And also don't start all the way through. Just go ahead and make it, and then you can adjust it if it's not perfect, which it shouldn't be perfect because nobody's perfect.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take
Guys,
my
we got
line,
this.
and I'm going to just kind of go straight across.
Is this
If
black?
you get a little bit thicker, that's fine too. Yes.
Black.
So I've basically just taken my brush, and I've gone straight across with my brush to create a horizon line.
Okay.
Is
All
that
right.
in the middle
Sorry, I didn't
of your
realize how much-
canvas? Mine's a little lower, but I'm also
Yeah,
on a
so
bigger
it's
canvas.
kind of halfway between this part and then our lakey type part, which is going back and forth.
And so you said no start, but what if one side is not as thick as the other side? Do we
That's
do
okay.
it?
We're going to be making it, we're going to be thickening it up.
Okay.
So my line was going to be a little thicker, but I think that's okay. Right?
Totally fine.
Okay.
Totally fine. Absolutely.
Although I gotta say, B, you're
Absolutely.
1000% correct, because I'm like moving my entire body instead of moving my wrist, and
Yeah.
that really helps
Yeah.
keep it straight.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of the things when it comes to painting is just about knowing what to use in what way. So like your detail work like this, as opposed to this, as opposed to this, as opposed to that, you know. And I only have one really strong arm. My other arm is garbage. So I just want you to know that.
That's fine.
Don't ever try to jump on my left side. I can only carry you on my right.
That's good to know. I'm glad we know this now.
Yeah. Yeah, when we go to forks, I'm going to need to know that information.
Positivity in the chat, and I appreciate it.
I love it.
Me something.
Same. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to start kind of up here, and I'm just going to go and swoop down. And then I want to kind of do the same thing on the other side, swoop down. Think of it, if you have to, like eyeliner, Carolina, think of it like you're dropping down an escalator. So I know you don't do a lot of makeup, so.
No, but I have dropped down an escalator. I know exactly what you mean now. Yeah, that seems about right.
And then we're going to do the same thing. If it's easier for you to flip it upside down and do the same thing again, that's okay. If not, and this is easier for you, you can just meet like that. So it should have like almost like a little bit of an hourglass type look. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I got it. Oh my God, this looks so much like the bra I'm wearing right now. Okay.
You're lucky I put one on, just saying.
You guys are lucky.
You have to, though.
I put one on.
We do, Jackie. We do have to.
I wear one to sleep. I'm gonna throw that out there. I know that some people think that it's sacrilegious, but like my breasts hurt if I don't. Not that like they're so big. I just have very sensitive breasts, so it's just easier if I have like a jogging bra on. I wear a loose one. It's not binding. I just need something.
I know.
So,
like during my period, I have to wear something like a tight camo, like something to keep it all close when I have my period, because then they're just like in my, in everyone's faces.
Yeah, I know. So I actually bought a tank top that like has a bra built into it, because I'm fun fact about me, I'm pierced and tattooed everywhere. No, I'm pierced And so I'm terrified of catching myself in my sleep.
I've
And
known
so I
one
always have to have,
one person who did it, which is why I didn't get my nipples pierced.
it's rough.
It's the
It's
only
rough.
reason why I didn't get my nipples pierced. Not because I was
Yeah.
scared, because I met one person. I was like, well, done. All right, that's very scary.
I mean, trust me, I love them, but man, am I terrified that one day I'm going to end up going into a hospital and being like, fix my tit. So
also organic
we're
berries.
going to go.
What that happened? Wait, that happens? Oh yeah, ripped just the edge of her nipple off.
It's
Anyway,
Oh.
we're filling this in.
Yeah, we're totally
my
filling this
eyebrow.
in. Yeah, I feel like especially if you have barbells, anybody with any kind of piercing that's a barbell, it can be
I used to
very.
have an eyebrow piercing, and when I was like 18 or whatever, and I remember one time taking off a wool sweater and boop, it went out. And yeah, it will live forever, that scar. But you
Well,
know,
yeah.
I
and
have to pay for it.
Mine too.
I was gonna say, Lexi, you were pretty pierced,
I was
weren't you?
yeah, I was super, super pierced, but and I recently decided that I wanted to put my eyebrow ring back in. So I did that, I'd say a couple weeks ago, and I pushed it through, and I was like, oh, look, it's, and then I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was just like, that doesn't look right anymore. It's like my face got older, and I was just like, nope, gotta take it out. I was really excited, and then I was like,
I've been talking to y'all about I'm thinking about, because I never did the facial piercings. I really, really want to get, I think, my eyebrow pierced or my nose pierced, but I think that Henry keeps telling me I'm too old. And then to a point that like, I think I might be. Like, I think I'm like chasing a dragon that I shouldn't.
You're not
Just
too
don't put
old.
on
That's
any
why you
wool
gotta get-
sweaters. Really, that's
I
really.
was gonna say, get
all the
piercings
advice I
people
can
can't
give
see.
you.
Get piercings just for you.
Just be careful when you remove articles of clothing, and I think you'll be fine. Because I mean, like honestly, it's all good. I think I went to a very cheap place that just kind of did an outlet, like a tiny bit, so it was so easy for it to come out.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, like that's the thing. Like things have changed, luckily, in the last 20 years, where you don't have to like wear like a thick stuff all over. Like they have nylon, they have all kinds of different kinds of stuff that you can wear.
Yeah. It's talking about being old. I'm a mom, and like my children walk into a room when I'm getting changed. And I remember my daughter was like 4, and she was like, Mommy, you have earrings in your boobies. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, why you do that? And I'm just like, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation.
Like, not right now. We'll let that be like a repressed memory. How about that?
It will come back though. It'll definitely come back, I'm sure.
Just repress that one, please.
For sure.
At least it's like a cool one. It's like, oh, my mom's really fucking cool. Like it's not like like that's at least like a fun one.
Well, it kind of reminds me of this there was a Hot Ones episode with Zoe Kravitz, and like, who has cooler parents than Zoe Kravitz?
I mean,
Nobody.
Oh my
No.
god.
Right? And she was like, the guy was like, basically, your parents are the coolest people on the planet. And she was like, yeah, and I didn't know how to rebel. It was too weird. I couldn't get a tattoo because my parents would be like, oh, that's neat, you know? And she's like, so I tried not to get tattoos until I was like 20 something. And then I got a tattoo and I was like, ooh, so rebellious.
That's what I'm concerned about with art. It's like, I feel like at some point my children are going to be like, I'm like, go ahead. I'd like to see you try. If you can get away with it. I did everything under the sun though, so I think that I'm gonna watch you like a fucking hawk. But
same though. But now it's different because now they're not leaving. They're not sneaking out. They're just doing bad shit on the internet.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we did. Like, I definitely was chatting to like people I should not have been hitting on when I was like 12 years old. You know?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, Patricia Bateman said I swallowed my tongue barbell once. I actually also had a tongue ring. So, I mean, I'm sorry that happened to you. But like, no, I get the whole, that's what I would do too. I mean, maybe I've gotten close a couple times. You went to the ER. Oh God, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes there's going to be a few missteps when you do something cool.
Mhm.
I chipped my
I
tooth
agree.
on my tongue ring because I had one of those like purple gem tongue rings, and I
Oh,
bit
yeah.
down on it and I chipped my tooth, and now that tooth isn't there anymore. So
Oh man. I mean, I have this thing with metal and teeth. I struggle like eating out in public with people if they do the thing with the
The
fork
grate
where they
on the fork. I can-
ooh, it makes me crazy. It makes me I will get up and excuse myself from the table if I see one person do that, and I would never under any circumstances date a person who does that. And if you do that, more power to you. I hope someone loves you. It will not be me.
I think there's also
But
those
like,
people that I think do that don't even realize they're doing it unless they're,
oh yeah,
you know, I think
yeah,
it's-
I agree.
Mhm.
my
Okay, so
plaque
I'm
is
gonna go
too
ahead and
big.
start putting in my trees. So you guys can go ahead and start
Free
putting in your
time.
trees.
Okay.
you
Okay.
like already screwed up the mountains.
No, because you're not gonna see this part of the mountain because it's all gonna be a part of tree land. So don't worry about that.
So how
So
many trees do you recommend?
I have on my thing, I have 8 trees. I'm sorry. No, I have 8 trees. But I do recommend doing odd numbers. Odd numbers is better than even numbers. If it has too many, like it's perfect on each side, it doesn't look real. So maybe go ahead and set your lines out to do like, say 3 on this side and maybe 4 on that side.
So
And then that way it looks. You want to be able to see the black, so anything under black is best.
Okay.
So if you bring your tree all the way up into the black, it's going to be harder to see. So maybe it's dark blue is a good place to stop.
Okay. God, this has been my dream to do this because I've been watching Bob Ross forever.
Drink.
Yeah. Oh my God, I was close. Okay, here we go.
Can I just tell you how much I love him? And we don't have to like get totally hammered after this, but so I I watch him at night to help me calm down and go to sleep.
Me too.
And
me too.
I also watch him when I'm having a really bad day because he's consistently and constantly a positive person and says the most beautiful shit while he's painting, and he makes me like I can't even tell you. So I sometimes I'll get like a bottle of red wine and I'll sit down and eat popcorn and watch Bob Ross, and like one day I was sitting there watching and he was talking about his squirrel named Peapod, and I began to weep because it was so fucking cute. And my husband, who works nights, happened to get off early that day, and he literally walked into the room, saw myself on the bed watching Bob Ross, crying and drinking red wine, and just said, "Nope," and shut the door slowly and backed away.
Good
He
husband.
was like,
yes, get out.
he was like, "Nope," and I was like, "Yep, please leave, please leave. You don't need to see this part of me. I need you to think I'm sexy eventually. So please don't watch me cry."
The thing, that is the very delicate balance of like,
Isn't that
I wanna be
crazy?
completely myself, and you need to own me for every fucking second that I am, and that is how my relationship is going to be. However, there are times that you shouldn't look at me because I need
Absolutely.
you to want to fuck me, and that has nothing to do with him. It doesn't do with me. It's like
Exactly.
I need to know that you're still gonna want to fuck me later, even though you're probably always.
Absolutely.
I imagine that like all of our partners, it's like they always will. But it's like, let's just do something to make it so that like I know that you wanna, you know?
For sure. So we've been married. It will be 14 years on New Year's Eve, which is our anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you
That's
so
amazing.
much. I got married when I was 19 because I was like too cool for people's standards and whatever, and I was gonna get married no matter what anybody fucking said. And so we've been married a really long time, and
I love that your use of too cool for anybody's standards is getting married younger.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. I think what I wanted to do, I wanted to do two things. I wanted to do the most unexpected thing there was of me, which was get married and like settle down because I was so wild. And then the second part was that he was deploying, and in a very beautiful, sexy gesture. So I worked at this adult shop, we'll call it. And I was working, and he came up, and we had been dating for 3 months. And he came to bring me some food, which was Chick-fil-A, which is problematic now, but back then it was dope.
That's the ultimate. Yeah, no.
So good though. Waffle fries with a little mayo and chup, which I know you don't like chup, but so good mixed all together.
No, mayo mixed with chup, I'm fine with.
Okay, so good on their waffle fries. So we were sitting there, and my husband, you have to know, is very shy, but also just like not. He's romantic in the way that he like listens to everything I say I want, and then for Christmas gets it for me, even though I said it in January. You know what I mean? But he's not like the guy that like writes a deeply sentimental card, and like he's just not that kind of dude. That's just not how he loves. So he says to me, and I quote, as I have a mouthful of Chick-fil-A nuggies, hey, some people from my unit are going to get married before we deploy. Are you down? So are you down was apparently a proposal to me. And I said, sure. And so it was a thing. And so we got married about 4 or 5 days later on New Year's Eve. And then he left right after that.
How long was it on for, if you don't mind me asking?
So the first deployment was 15 months.
Wow.
That was rough, but it was also like, you have to also understand, like, I'm 19, right? I meet this guy of basically my dreams. Like when I met him, and we'll talk about how we actually met another time, because that is a different fun story about me being insanely wild. But I just kind of like, he was like one of those people that you're like, oh, this is like when people say that's a keeper, like that's a keeper. Like he's a guy that you don't want to let go of, don't screw it up kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so, by the way, so I finished my trees on one side. I'm going to flip over, and I'm going to do them in my water as my and these don't have to be perfect. They don't even, they can look a little bit more sketchy. Yeah. So I digress. I don't even remember what I was trying to say. Never mind.
Well, you weren't going to tell us how y'all met, but
I can if you want me to.
I mean,
now
we're bitches that bang together, so I feel like.
So when you're very young, and I'm gonna call myself a hot girl for the summer. I was very I liked attention, and I liked being on the base.
There for a good time, not a long time.
That's right. That's right.
I get it.
I was 19, and big boobs, tiny waist. I was killing the game. And I was newly single-ish, and so my sister was dating this other guy that was like in his unit, and they decided to have a party. Well, a party is like 20 military dudes and 3 chicks, and 2 of them were dating military dudes, and I was the only one who wasn't. So
you were. Girl, I'm from Florida. You think I ain't hung with some military dudes?
Yeah, you know how it goes. So we we spent the night, you know, everybody's talking, blah, blah, blah. And I'm getting a lot of like homeboys walking up to me and just being like, hey, you know, yada, yada, yada. Right. And so I'm super unimpressed because I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to be there. I was kind of there for my sister. And there was just too many dudes. Right. And then out of nowhere, this very quiet, very strange man stands up and this is 2006. So 2006 rap was playing for the party while everybody was doing like beer pong and whatnot. And this very quiet, weird guy walks over and just like record scratches and puts on Glycerine by Bush, which is not a party song.
I love
ever.
I love that song.
Ever.
He won
So
my
good.
heart already, and I don't know.
Immediately, I was like, say what?
Thank you, Cole.
So good, right?
Peter. Thank you.
Yes, around.
So good. So I walk up to him and I'm like, why aren't you talking to me? And he was like, I didn't know I had to. And I was like, well, you do now. So I basically jumped on it, proceeded to get so drunk that I went upstairs all super drunk, sexy, and went into a bedroom, took off all of my clothes, laid down onto the bed, butt naked, and passed out. Now, in his keeper mode, he walks over, he finds a blanket, puts it on top of me, shuts the door, and then falls asleep next to the bed on the floor like this so that nobody would go in the room while right? Isn't that not the sweetest thing you've ever heard? And then we woke up the next morning and like, I was like, hey, so you're cool. You want to go get some breakfast? And we went to IHOP. And then I drove him back to his car afterwards. And he gets out of the car and he doesn't ask me for my number or anything, right? But I like know we like had a good time. So I was like, this is weird. Maybe I was just too much because I mean, kind of my middle name. And I was like, hey, do you want my number? And he was like, yeah, I'd love it. And I was like, okay, great. And years later, I asked him, why didn't you ask for my number? Because literally 3 months later, we were married and living together. I was like, why didn't you ask for my number? And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But like after we went to IHOP, I had to shit so bad. I couldn't think about anything. And he was like, I was going to hit you up on MySpace. And I was like, yeah, sure. But he really was. That was his plan, was to later on hit me up on MySpace.
That's
I am absolutely in love with this story.
That's great. Yes, hands down, it says Hallmark movie, and I will write that.
It was my own recipe for seduction.
Oh my God! Wait, did you guys watch it today? I didn't get to see it. So
I didn't. I don't have an account, so
wait, what is
I
this?
need to though.
Recipe
it's the
for
Colonel Sanders story with Mario Lopez.
Oh, right.
Well, Jackie, I'm sure Jackie could describe it so much better than I could right now.
Secrets out, chicken man! You have to watch. Carolina, if you haven't watched this trailer, it is Mario Lopez playing Colonel Sanders in a 15-minute mini movie on Lifetime about it's called A Recipe for Seduction, and it is about his like how he like conned / fell in love with a millionaire heiress. Production AI watched the premiere at noon. Please tell us about it, Production AI, because I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I'm very, very excited about it, though.
I am very well aware of that, and I think it's going to be really fun actually to watch. I also, because I don't know, I enjoy these biopics, if you want to call it that in any way. I'm gonna just keep going like that's wrong, and then give him my own approved screenplay. And you'll see.
I love it.
Is it okay that I add me and Marcus on this mountain? I mean, because I did.
Yes, please.
That's adorable.
Well, I'm wearing a skirt.
Sure.
And
Well,
we're
otherwise, how would they know that one's a girl?
Well, actually,
Yeah. Please take all creative liberties necessary.
But it's because this is the most amazing thing I've ever done. So I just needed to have us
Oh my
on
god,
there.
look how
Oh,
cute!
Carolina.
That's the cutest thing ever. Oh my god.
I've never done this. This is awesome. I've never made trees before.
I just want to
love
make
it.
trees
Edible, stare
forever.
at it. Okay.
They're pretty great, aren't they?
Oh my
So
god.
make sure though that you get your side. So just double check on the side, and make sure that that's nice and clean. So when you put it up on the wall, it kind of covers all the way to the side
Oh,
part
I have
here.
not been doing the sides, but in the slightest. Okay.
That's okay. You can do that later.
Very.
I feel pretty good about this. I feel like unusually confident about this, which I think is all of your work, Miss B.
Yes,
Honestly,
yes.
if it weren't for you, I'd be like, I'm sorry, and I'd be crying and a glass breaks. So thank you so much for making it so much better.
Oh, of course. No, thank you. Usually I'm able to like be there and like fix people's mistakes like myself, but like I don't feel like I have to fix anybody's mistakes here because I honestly, you guys are like doing so well. It's such a treat for me as a teacher when people just like can't understand what you're saying and then apply it. And I try really hard to make sure I'm teaching it from different ways. And so I feel like Carolina, you did such a great job. It looks so good.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done. And
I
I
can't believe I'm painting something.
know.
That's so great.
All
I have too much black
so
on mine.
far.
I have way too much
Well,
black.
oh, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna
Oh,
fix
good.
that in a minute.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Maybe I was too maybe I shouldn't have painted us on top first.
Jackie,
But I got so
oh wait, hold on,
excited.
Jackie, turn it real quick. I didn't see it very well.
Oh, I realize I have to fill in a little bit more
I
thing.
I also can do dinosaurs, but later.
Oh my god,
love it.
Oh, that's good,
let me see. It
Jackie.
looks really good.
You guys,
Good.
we're all doing such a great job. I want to see everybody's in chat though. Wait, you
I'm
guys,
so happy.
promise you have to post it in the Facebook because I need
Yes,
I
yes, yes, yes.
Please.
You guys, chat. You
Please.
must post in the Facebook. They were sharing their setups in the Discord. So that's so cool. I love it.
No, this was so much fun. I love this. Okay, so how do I make a flying saucer? No, am I good? I'm derailing.
Oh my gosh,
derailing.
Carolina, I have to tell you, I do that all the time. I've done like the Doctor Who phone box. I have done flying saucers in mine just because like sometimes I like while people are working, I just get a little bored and like so I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do one of these. Oh yeah. So much fun.
Yeah, so should we do
If you want, I can show you. Would you like me to show you how to do one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
What did you say, Jackie? I'm sorry, you cut out a
Yeah,
little
can
bit.
you show us how to do a flying saucer? I was just squealing
Yes.
about a flying saucer.
This
Oh, I got
always
one
ends
here.
up there. This is every time we paint it always ends up in a UFO abduction. I love it.
Also, and I know we were talking about this earlier. Somehow I flicked blue paint all over my computer. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how it got all the way over here. It's not on anything else between here and there, and it's all over the computer. But it's kind of fun.
Okay, I just wanted to double check, like teaching it real quick because I didn't practice that part. Okay,
No.
so you're gonna do a frowny face,
Okay.
Like this?
just like that. So if you wanna practice it on like your napkin or something like that first, or
I
if
think
you want to do it right onto the canvas, either way.
All right.
All right.
I have a little frowny face, and then I'm going to go up from the bottom of the frowny face just a touch here. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to go around
Ooh.
like so.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then fill that in. And then, and this is with my little tiny brush, then I'm going to kind of square it off at the very bottom,
Oh.
and then go across one more time and fill that in. And then when we get to, oh, hold on. When we get to the white for our snow slash stars slash whatever you want them to be, you can either take some of the white and put it as dots in there so it looks like light, or you can use some of it to kind of go down like this to look like it's sort of shining down. But use the white for that part.
All right, the white. Oh man, I can do this all night now. Okay.
I have to pee.
I'm
so
sorry, I know
everybody
we're
has to
running
drink.
over.
It's okay. I just have to pee, but I'll be right back.
Oh, drink.
Oh. I'm almost out of beer. But I can do this.
We've got little saucer if anybody needs it.
Thank you.
Does anybody else feel
You're
like I feel
very
like
welcome.
I ruined my painting with my saucer, but you know what? I don't give a fuck.
Nothing is ruined. Everything is perfect.
You're right.
Honestly, Jackie, if you just let it dry, you can always paint on top of it. But I truly believe that if your heart felt like it wanted to be there, then it needed to be there.
You're right. Thank you. And you're
And also,
correct.
you're being negative about your saucer, so you need to.
Oh my God! Then we have to drink. We have to drink.
Time to drink.
By the way, Gibbon You Hell says Carolina is in the fucking groove.
I feel like you're gonna find me on Tuesday morning, and I'm like, I'm not done. And then I haven't left this room, and it smells like a monkey cage because I haven't cleaned.
That's so funny. Also, Gibbon You Hell was and I know we weren't supposed to open up our stuff yet, but I totally forgot about everything. As soon as I see a package that has my name that I'm allowed to open, I lose my mind. And her package was so great. It was so beautifully done and just personal and lovely. And she made me this mixed media piece that is literally hanging right over there, which I will show you in just a moment. But the coolest part about all of it is that I think it was, so she works with Primate, and she had a little painting on there, and I'll show you it, but it's from an orangutan named Cheyenne, and she gave it to me. I literally cried. Let me show you how cool this is.
It's so cool.
Talk about talented ass people. And so this painting right here is from Cheyenne, and it has gloss on there, and it's got Dolly, and it's got so many cool things. It is, my heart. I couldn't even handle it. And she got me a Rose Apothecary t-shirt, which made me so happy too. I was just in heaven.
Oh, speaking of which, Marcus handed this to me because I'm like, can you please get this to me from the wall that we have in our living room? And guess who made this? Oh yeah, Miss.
Oh man,
look how good.
Thank you.
How realistic this is.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Oh my God.
I was such in my feels when I was writing. Anytime I write a letter to somebody that means something to me, I get super in my feels, and I'm like, oh, this person's gonna think I'm so weird. But I enjoyed so much that little sweet baby face.
Look at that.
Come on.
Always looks worried. He's always worried.
It's
cutie.
uncanny. It really is.
Aww.
You did such
Sweet
a
baby.
Thank you very much. We very much appreciate it. I know Marcus does a lot, so thank you. It's
Of course.
So does she. Yeah, she does.
So great.
She feels it from the inside, I promise. She's a little shy.
Oh. Lisa Rose,
love her.
Lisa Rose even said, okay, but I hand wrote Jackie the longest feelings letter for my package, and I haven't blocked yet. No, because I cried. Because Lisa Rose wrapped up each individual thing that she had sent me of for when you're having a bad day, for when you can't sleep. And wrote me the most, I cried through the entire opening of it. Are you kidding me? This is the thing, is that No, I have very small potatoes, and the fact that we have such an amazing, beautiful community makes me cry multiple times a week. I am so grateful, and I'm so thankful for everybody, and the fact that we are having this evening, it fills me with such insane joy, and I love you guys all so much. I'm not gonna
Thank
cry.
you.
It's
Thank
not the painting and the tequila, but it is.
Partly that. But I mean, this is
I
going
love
up
it.
Look
on.
at this, Carolina.
This will be passed down generations.
I love
it.
Thank
So we
you.
got one more little thing, and this is optional if y'all want it. So I take my brush, my little tiny brush, and I'm not using the brushy end, but I'm using the back, and I'm gonna just pop a little white on there. And then what I do is I take my canvas and I just put little dots, and they look like stars. And it's best to do them as randomly as possible. You do not want them to be patterned, otherwise it looks kind of strange. So if you are the kind of person, if you're a type A and you're the kind of person who cannot do things completely random, what I usually do is I go 1, 2, and then I do 3 somewhere completely different. So you'll sort of do your dots and you're just kind of lightly pressing them down. And so they look like stars, and then you can have them reflected down on the bottom. If you want them to not be stars, but you would rather them be snow, go ahead and put them through and in front of the trees.
Oh, cool.
So it will look a little bit more like snow rather than stars.
I like it.
Oh my God, y'all, we are such fucking artists.
Yup.
So
You can make it look a
for
little
you.
bit more like snow.
If there's too much black, should I go in and just kind of like paint over it a little bit with the lighter colors?
Let me see what you mean by too much black.
It's too thick, like right here. You can
Oh,
see that
yeah, you can
hill
always
really-
lighten that up.
Okay.
So when you have something that's down towards the line and it's like the bottom of the trees, it's okay to make that a little bit thicker, but still use texture when you're doing it
Got
so
it.
that it blends into the bottom of the tree.
Yeah.
Like if you see right here,
Mhm.
it's pretty thick,
Yeah.
but it's still tree, you know?
Got it.
And then you can always blend a little bit more of this color here if you'd like to get rid of it. Or if you want to like kind of go over it with, like I said, with the white as the, look at you, Jackie, with the white as like the stars or the
This is
snow or
so
something like that.
good.
That is so good.
Your
I
guys is
love
so
it.
good. I mean, like maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm looking up front, but I think your guys is really, really good. Like
Yours
I mean, mine
is so
fine.
good.
Oh my God, all of us.
All right, I feel like I'm gonna be a part of the team, and I'm gonna put a saucer in mine too.
Do it. I'm making it snow.
We're gonna be the saucer squad.
I love it.
My husband Joel loves it. He says he likes it.
Yeah.
The snowfall really accentuates the
Yeah.
theme
we
lifted up. So thank you guys. Oh my God, thank you so much. I'm like looking at the chat and everyone's being super nice about this. So thank you so much. And yes, Jackie's looks great. Everyone's looks great.
Everyone's looks so fucking good.
I'm so
we
proud
recently
of
saw
everyone.
this t-shirt. We saw this t-shirt online, and it was a flying saucer with a man being like taken up into the saucer, and it said, "Get in, boys, we're doing butt stuff" on it, and I wanted to buy it so bad.
I can feel your children from here someday just being like, Mom.
Honestly. Well, it's like I grew up and a part of me growing up, I stayed with my grandfather for a long time, who was a World War II vet, but he also always wore this hat that says, "This is not a bald spot, it's a solar panel to a sex machine." And he wore that hat everywhere. And I feel like that shaped me as a person.
Of course it did. It should. Oh my God.
Oh, look at you. First of all, Jackie, I love that you're a stander. There's always like somebody who just like feels more comfortable standing and painting.
I'm a stander.
And
I
I'm
can't.
obsessed.
I can't sit. I can't focus. It's the same when I've been playing Among Us with Holden on Tuesdays, and I have to be, and like, you're showing us your breasts. I'm like, I'm not trying to, like, I have, for me to.
I love it.
I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of all of us, really.
All of us!
You guys are killing
I
it.
can't believe this. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Literally anyone
I
can.
swear to God. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's why I told you, I was like, don't worry, don't fret, I got you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just, you are an amazing teacher.
Yes.
Oh man.
Who saved my fucking life. This
I'm
is
red.
this is absolutely insane. Thank you
Oh man.
so much. Now I'm like, I really do. I feel like Carolina, I'm just like, I'm a painter now. All right, well, I'll start buying
now I
canvases.
paint.
Now I'm
That's
a
a good
painter.
idea.
I will start painting things. And
Why not?
watch
Why
out,
not?
world. That's the last thing my roommates wanted me to do. It's like, oh, she gonna have another craft now because of how much. So like, I'm working on that, but I haven't touched it in a couple of weeks. But I'm coming back to it.
That's like the glitter glue situation in our house was banned. There's no more glitter glue in this home now and forever. So it happens. I actually used to work at this place where kids could come in and they had just like everything you could think of. Like there was like rubber bands and leaves and things they could paint on and all that stuff, and they could go around and like put it all on their tray and then make stuff with it. But part of that was that they had access to like hot glue guns and glitter glue, and like I can't tell you how much glitter glue I have touched in my life, or how many times I've seen a child just take a tube of glitter glue and make it like a fat turd on a plate and then just smash something into it, and it is just the absolute worst thing in the world to see.
I was talking about this a little bit because like I know that we've all, I think in some capacity, have taught children for sure, obviously, but working in Top Elf, it was like such a different experience of like that a bunch of people would come in and clean up after us, which made me love the kids so much more. I was like, oh, okay, if I don't have to clean up, watching you
Totally.
glitter, like throwing glitter everywhere doesn't make my chest want to explode as much. I'm like, but then I found myself like picking the glitter up off the floor. I'm like, we're still gonna use this. You threw it on the floor, now we're gonna use it. And then I would say, like, no, we're not doing this. We're not gonna waste it because then there's no more glitter. When you throw it, there's no more glitter.
It's true. It's true.
No, I totally spent those years just using their hands of like, you know what? I'm gonna use you as a puppet now because it's not worth it. and it's the best you can do. I mean, I don't even want to clean up after myself now.
No.
I mean, for sure. I'm actually gonna make my children come in here and tell them they can have screen time if they clean up after me. No,
oh my God, that's the reason I have children. You're like, well, I think screen time is not a help for you because then screen time means you don't have to. Then it's like, oh, okay.
All the love for Miss B, says Becca got back.
Aww.
We have so much love for coleopter.
Don't make me cry. That looks so good.
That
I
is
like yours because
really
it almost looks like a canyon. Like you're looking into like there are like you're on the water in this picture, and you're looking like into the mountains. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. And there's so much love for you in chat. There's so much love for all of everybody's work. And I really hope that we get to see you guys' amazing pieces of art. And I can't wait.
Next time we'll do Vigo from Ghostbusters 2, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yes.
I cannot wait to do this again. I cannot wait to just
But like for real, guys, we're gonna do this again, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
to.
I hope so.
We have to.
I really want to do this again. I also have another because I had to buy a 2-pack, so I got another.
I have a lot of paints, so, and a lot of canvases.
Cocoa Bean, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Also, thank you so much for, I don't see where, oh man. Thank you so much for, if you donated this evening, I think it was Ryan Osmosis that donated the 25. I think that is correct. But, so yes, thank you very much. And, I'm trying to find all of, yes. So thank you very much, guys, for your donations. Thank you.
I apologize. I'm painting the sides of mine right now.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, I have to do that. I have for sure. Wow, look how oh my God, it's so similar, and it's just but they're each a work of art. It's amazing.
That is really good.
Jackie, that looks so good. Look at your trees.
That's really
Your
good.
trees are so good.
Thank you
I
guys.
do the reflection, but mine is a vampire.
You gotta do the UFO and the reflection.
But the UFO is a vampires.
I like it though.
It just doesn't register in the normal Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come
No,
up with
I get that. I get it. Oh, we're totally doing this again.
Okay.
As long as you are fine with doing it, I would love to do
Oh
it.
my God, I love attention. What are you talking about?
Okay, then it's done. We're doing it again.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Well-
I'm the happiest I think I've been since easily March. Are we getting too real with it? But I do feel that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I want to tell you just a few things about canvas care real quick. So when you are using your canvas, just a few little remarks before we get going. Try not to ever press into the canvas, like pushing into the canvas, because you will warp it. And never like put your hands between this and the wood here. And then if you want to get it, if you're not a person who has like polyurethane or even a Mod Podge person, and you would like to like create a protective layer onto your canvas, if you have just dollar store hairspray.
Splitchetta, thank you so much for the 5. Thank you.
Thank you. Just take the dollar store hairspray, spray it down, let it dry, do it about 3 times, and it will create a layer of protection that will make it humid proof and slightly waterproof. So you could put it in like a bathroom or a kitchen and not worry about the integrity of the paint, over time getting worse or whatever. And then just last thing I want to say is like, thank you so much. Like,
No,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is the love of my life, and the fact that I get to share it with you and the people that love you, that makes me very happy. So I just wanted to say that real quick.
So much for doing this.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough.
Literally made the impossible, which is me paint. So I can't thank you enough. So yes, I'm in your debt forever. Just so you know.
Oh,
So much love.
I'll hold you to that. No, I'm just kidding.
Please do. Please do.
I love you. And also, please tag me on Instagram because I'd love to post all of our pictures so everyone feels like, oh, I want to do that. And I was like, yeah, you do want to fucking do this because now we're painters.
Yeah, tag me on Instagram, Carolina Danger Doggo, please, because I'm not on Facebook right now. It's just a weird, family, with other, misleading facts. I just don't want to deal with that right now. So what I'm doing, so if you want to tag me or whatever, I'll put up your thing. If you want to, I'll definitely put up everyone's. It was so much fun. Thank you so much.
I want to see everybody's though. I want to see everybody.
Yes, me too. That's what I'm really excited about. I'm excited to see everybody's
and also,
stuff.
B, what is your Instagram again so that everyone can tag you in it too?
So it's we.make.art, and it should come up right away. And then Facebook is We Make Art featuring impossible pet portraits. So I love a good pun. So yeah, you can look at those two things. And then I also I've started an Instagram for the Dinner with Dolly thing, and it's literally just called Dinner with Dolly. And all I've really posted so far is like weird pictures of Salvador Dali and then food I've made. But I plan on like, getting there eventually.
And we will talk.
Cool.
Yes,
Very
that sounds
cool.
great. All right, you guys, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you so much, those who donated. This is wonderful. Thank you. And
I am really I feel like this was a high that I didn't know that I need. Like, I feel like I can like smile for the next 4 days straight. I can't. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. I literally don't even this is a fever dream, so it's fine.
Lost Coven loving.
Much. Guys, yeah, let's start talking about doing another one. And if you
Okay.
let's keep doing it, because now
Yes.
we're painters.
Yeah, we're not gonna stop.
I
We're never
would
gonna
love that.
Can't stop, won't stop. Whoop, whoop. Okay, guys. Talk to you later.
Love
See
you.
you on Sunday.
Love you. Well, yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday.
Yeah.
Bye.
This was
Presents are wrapped,
That was fun.
ready
That
to
was so much
ship.
fun. Oh my
This
god.
bottle's
God.
all gone.
I didn't expect you guys. I knew
I
it was fun, but yeah.
I just wrote, I'm a painter now.
I love that. I really love that.
Workshop, because now that I'm also an artist, and we're gonna.
I love it. Well, and we can do all kinds of different stuff too. Like we can do things at Artland too. Like that stuff too. So, oh my gosh,
I feel like I could do anything now. So yeah.
Dude, the amount of confidence is literally flooring me. I feel like I'm floating in space right now. So, and that is not the Pinot Noir, I promise.
Mine might be a little bit of